Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be discussing the NWSL Regular Season Match between the Orlando Pride and Gotham FC. You can also listen to this match review on Spotify, link in the description below. Likewise, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can also watch this game review on YouTube. Link will be in the description. Alright, so at the moment, things aren't looking too well for the Pride. They're coming off of 2 draws and a loss against Angel City FC as of recent. It doesn't help that Barbara Banda is going to be out for the remainder of this season due to an injury. I first heard it was an abductor injury, but later I found out it was a hip injury. They could both be connected, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a medical professional, but yeah, unfortunately Banda is out. Many people blame the match against Kansas City because the weather was pretty bad. It was 95 degrees in the afternoon, and they kept delaying the game until the evening because it was so hot. And if I remember correctly, I think that game took place, originally was set to start in the middle of the afternoon, which is probably like the hottest time of the day. But yeah, looking back, I kind of wish they just postponed the game for like another day, like just canceled it and just had it on a later date or even at nighttime, which is what they did. But yeah, 95 degrees, and that doesn't include the humidity. Yeah, that is pretty rough. But besides that, it was also announced that Morgan Gautreau is retiring from NWSL play and is being loaned to Newcastle United. That was kind of surprising, but I don't know. Maybe she's tired of the heat and wanted to play somewhere cooler. Honestly, like, same. There is some good news, though. The Pride have signed Jackie Ovalle from Tigres. Ovalle is a Mexican international. She's a really good midfielder and goal scorer. I think she will definitely fit into the Pride's attack, given how much they focus on movement and pace. Anyway, that's it for all the Pride news so far. When it comes to the Pride this season, the vibe I'm getting is that they can get their attack forward. They connect well when it comes to build-up plays. However, they're struggling to finish and put away their chances. The Pride can have great and long spells of possession, and despite creating chances and goal-scoring opportunities, nothing would come from them. It's like I said in Wolfsburg's friendly against Bayer Leverkusen. It doesn't matter how much possession you have. If you can't put away all the chances you do get and create, the opposing team is going to make you pay for it. The Pride, if they want to win this game, needs to figure out how to score again. And without Banda, this just got more challenging. Anyway, that all being said, let's get into the lineup for this match. Alright, so the lineup. We have Anna Morehouse in the goal. For defenders, we got Kylie Nadiner, Rafaeli, Emily Sams, and Carrie Bello. Feels like it's been a while since she's played. In the midfield and attack, Martha, Haley McCutcheon, Angelina, Ali Lemos, Priska Chilufya, and Ali Watt. Also want to add, it's raining where I'm at, so you might hear thunder. So we got 2 Alis and Chilufya in the attack, plus Martha and occasionally Angelina. I'm joking, Angelina does pretty good, but control and possession in the midfield is something the Pride will be needing in this game. It will be interesting to see how Watt and Chilufya link up in the attack, but either way, the Pride needs to put away their chances. Their build-up and connection in the attack is usually good. No issues there with how they move and create plays. They just need to score. I would have started Yates for this one, but we could see her in the second half with Simone Charlie and Simone Jackson. Kind of just realized they had the same name. Anyway, that all being said, let's get into the first half. Alright, so the first half, we are off. Gotham are in a 4-3-3. The Pride are also in a 4-3-3. The 10-minute mark, these 10 minutes have been great for the Pride. Their attack is aggressive, and we're seeing them creating a lot of plays and chances. The pressure in the midfield is great. They're definitely looking for Chilufya when it comes to long balls and passes. Despite the Pride's good movement, build-up, and strong attack, they're still not putting away their chances. That's kind of the problem here. Watt came close in the second minute after connecting with a free kick, but she would see her attempt go wide. The 25th minute mark, it's not looking good for the Pride. Esther scored in the 12th minute, making it 0-1 for Gotham. It's disappointing because it seemed like the Pride back line was giving way to Gotham. Gotham was upping their pressure and starting to find their way behind the Pride back line. The Pride were able to get forward, but they created nothing substantial or threatening just yet. Angelina also got caught or hit twice in the midsection on 2 separate occasions, and she had to come off. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to come back in. The 35-minute mark, there's just no midfield control. Once again, the Pride are struggling to get forward. Gotham has been getting forward and creating plays, a lot of good, dangerous plays. They're finding their way in behind, and the Pride are stuck having to defend. Pickett subbed on for Angelina in the 27th minute, which a part of me understands the decision behind that. There needs to be more focus on defending, but at the same time, the Pride aren't getting forward enough, and they need to. I thought Seb Hines would probably go with Yates or Charlie. I mean, either way, we need to see more control from the Pride, but I think Yates or Charlie would have been a little bit better attack-wise. The 45-minute mark, still nothing from the Pride. They had some corners in the 37th and 38th, but nothing would come from them. In the 42nd, Morehouse had 2 really good saves. She blocked across, then when a Gotham player made an attempt, she blocked that one too. That was pretty cool. Can't say the same about the rest of the team, especially the back line. In the 45th minute, Howell would score off a rebound and make it 0-2 for Gotham. Yeah, just disappointing. I can see why the Pride's backline is failing, and I'll get into that at halftime. There would be an additional 6 minutes of additional time, and the half would end in the 51st minute with Gotham up 0-2. Alright, so the Pride are down 0-2. Yeah, this is pretty bad, and I had a feeling this was going to happen, especially with Esther in Gotham's attack. I was hopeful in the first 10 minutes because the Pride came out with a quick and aggressive attack, but when they couldn't grab goals, I knew the Pride were going to be in for it. I don't know what's up with Watt and Martha, especially Watt. Her crosses and attempts were high for this whole half. And speaking of high, the Pride were playing with a high press. The attack is pressing high, obviously, that's what they do. The midfield is pressing high, which is okay. And the back line is pressing high. This leaves Morehouse and the defense at a disadvantage. With the back line pressing high, we're seeing Gotham creating more through balls and getting behind the back line. It was happening more and more in this half. Like, you have to adjust to that, especially when the opposing team has you figure it out, which was the case here. Gotham saw that the Pride was too high and came in with the through balls. For the second half, the Pride needs to get back in control, and they need to sort out and organize their attack around the box. Figure out what they want to do there. They need to be quicker with their touches and movement, and stop trying to score outside the box. I'm looking at Ali Watt, mainly. Anyway, that being said, let's get into the second half. Alright, so the second half, we are off. The 55-minute mark, Charlie would sub in for Abello at the start of the half. This would mean Pickett is dropping to the back line. This play, started by Charlie, sums up the Pride as of late. 47th minute, Charlie touch up for Watt. Watt crossed, Chalupia touch, too high. And it was such a good freaking play. That's the pattern. The Pride creates these really good plays, but they can't finish them. In these first 10 minutes of the second half, the Pride are playing well. Good control, good possession, good plays. But once again, poor connection and finishing in the box. That is a big problem here. That is a big problem for them so far this season. In weirder news, there was a 4 or 5 player collision in the Gotham box, an NWSL record. Not really, but it's something I feel like someone would come up with. The 66-minute mark, not much happening here. Jackson would sub in for Chalupia in the 59th minute. The Pride would get a free kick and corner kick soon after, but nothing would come from them. They have to be careful because Gotham are trying to regain control. So far, the Pride have been good in terms of control and possession. It seemed as though Gotham were content with just staying on the defensive since they're already up by 2, but they could be wanting the ball back. So the 75-minute mark, the Pride are back in control, but still nothing substantial from the attack despite being able to get forward. Ohene and Yates would sub on for Hafaeli and Watts. That's fine. There was this moment in the 74th minute. Jackson making a run. Jackson touched into the box, blocked. Jackson fouls afterwards, grabbing. Yeah, someone teach the Pride through balls because she could have played it through to Charlie. Charlie could have scored there, or at least tried to score there. Honestly, it just reminds me of Germany in the Women's Euro. I said it before, through balls are friends, with benefits. Alright, so the 90-minute mark. The good news is Cider Boys Hard Cider is really good, not sponsored. The bad news, more stupid shit. Let me walk you guys through it. 79th minute, Jackson threw ball to the wrong person. At least we know how to do them. 81st minute, ball stolen from Sams or Nadiner. Gotham making a run, Gotham cross back, Gotham attempt blocked. 83 minutes, really poor clearance from the Pride. Gotham steals it. Gotham attempt, Morehouse saves. Impressive by Morehouse. 84th minute, Charlie down the right wing. Berger way off her line. Charlie gets around her, crosses, no one there for her in the box. The goal was completely wide open. This is where we're at, and I hate it. There would be an additional 8 minutes of added time, but despite the Pride getting forward, nothing would come from it. The second half would end in the 98th minute with Gotham winning 0-2. Alright, so Pride lose 0-2. I guess you can say the second half was better, more control, more possession, the Pride getting forward and creating chances, but I still thought it was really underwhelming and just not good. Yes, they had all this control and possession, Gotham were willingly on the defensive, and the Pride still couldn't find their way through. They still couldn't connect or finish in the box. I feel like they do well when it comes to build-up plays, but in and around the box, it's a different story. It's like they don't know what they want to do when they get in there. It's very Wolfsburg of them. I get that there is a focus on pressing high like we saw early on in the first half, but the Pride need to get their play, connection, and finishing in the box sorted out. It's not just them not being able to score, it's the fact that they don't know what it is they want to do once they get down there. Maybe they do, but whatever they're doing at practice isn't carrying over to the actual game. Seb Hines and the team needs to figure out why that is, and what needs adjustment and change. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.